Good morning, boys and girls. My name is Miss Summer and I'm your host. This is your teacher, Miss Misha. Today we will learn about the characters, plot, and setting of a folktale.
I'm Miss Misha and today's lesson is titled The Magic Paintbrush. Today we will learn about Ma Liang and his adventures with a magic paintbrush in ancient China. Before we begin, let's look back at our chart from yesterday and quickly review what we have already learned. Miss Summer, can you share what you already know about the ancient Chinese civilization?
Yes. We learned that the writing system invented in ancient China uses characters and is still used today. We also learned that the Chinese people once wrote on bone and they also created paper.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Summer. Those are some great things. I am learning so much about ancient China. Are there some new things you want to learn during today's reading?
Yes. I would like to know how the characters respond to challenges in today's Chinese folktale. And I see by the title that the paintbrush must be magical. But how is a paintbrush magical? I'm really curious about that one.
Oh, those are some great questions, Miss Summer. I would love to learn the answers to those questions also. But before we get started with our reading, let's begin by first discussing the meaning of some important vocabulary words that we will reference in this lesson. Are you ready, boys and girls? What about you, Miss Summer?
Yes, I love learning new words.
Great. Let's get started. So our first word is beggar. Say beggar.
Beggar.
Good. Beggar means someone or something who begs. Sometimes I've seen my dog beg and act so sad when he wants a treat. He can definitely be a little beggar. Let's use a gesture to help us remember what beggar means. Let's take our hand and extend it forward as if to ask for something, like we are begging. Many people ignored the beggar on the street as he asked for spare change. Our next word is cork. Say cork.
Cork.
Good job.
I already know the meaning of the word cork. A cork is a stopper for a bottle that helps it seal.
Yes.
It's made out of the bark of a cork oak tree. Oh, here's a small cork. It's been painted.
Well, actually, that is a meaning of the word cork, but cork is a multiple meaning word. One fun fact about cork is that it can also bob up and down and float on the water.
Oh, let me try that. Oh, look how that worked. That is so cool.
Yes, that is neat. This is how the word cork will be used in our story today. To help us remember this word, let's pretend that we are the cork as it's floating up and down on the water. The anchor chart sentence says, the cork floated easily on the water because it was lightweight. Our next word is praise. Say praise.
Praise.
Good. Praise means congratulations or admiration. Let's put our hands together and clap to show that we want to praise something or someone. Great job, Miss Summer. Ma Liang enjoyed hearing the people's praise. Miss Summer, can you read the sentence on our anchor chart that uses the word praise?
I sure can. Kristen received much praise for her science project.
Great sentence. Our next word is scowl. Say scowl.
Scowl.
Good job. A scowl is a frown of anger or disapproval. So to help us remember this word, let's pretend to scowl at someone. The emperor looked at Ma Liang with a scowl.
I don't think I would like to walk around with a scowl on my face for very long.
No, that doesn't sound like very much fun.
No. The sentence on our anchor chart says, Charlie's mother gave him a scowl when she saw him being mean to his sister. You know, I think I have actually had to scowl at my kids for the very same thing.
So, before we begin reading, let's review what we know about a folktale.
Great idea. Boys and girls, would you like to share what you know about a folktale? Oh, those are great thoughts. So what I heard was that a folktale is a story someone made up a long, long time ago. I heard that a folktale is told orally or by word of mouth. I heard that it was told over and over again. Great thinking. And that it can actually be used to teach us a lesson. And sometimes there are many versions of the same folktale.
Yes. Boys and girls, can you tell us the name of any folktales that you have heard before?
Oh, let me tell you some folktales I'm hearing them say. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. That's a British folktale. The White Elephant is a folktale from Asia. What's that? Anansi the Spider. It's an Ashanti folktale. The Three Little Pigs is a European folktale. And Why Mosquitoes Buzz in People's Ears originated in West Africa. Oh my! You all know lots of folktales, and today you will get to add another one to your list.
Oh. We're going to listen carefully to hear about Ma Liang and his adventures with a magic paintbrush in ancient China. Boys and girls, read along with us and look at the pictures as we read. Let's get started. Once upon a time, long ago, in the land of China, there lived a poor boy named Ma Liang. To help earn money for his family, Ma Liang gathered bundles of firewood to sell. But what he really wanted to do more than anything else in the world was paint. Ma Liang was so poor, however, that he could not even buy a single paintbrush. One day, as Ma Liang passed by the village school, he saw the children busily painting pictures. "Please, sir," said Ma Liang to the teacher, "I would like to paint, but I have no brush. Will you loan me one?" "What?" cried the teacher. "You are only a little beggar boy. Go away." "I may be poor," said Ma Liang, "but I will learn to paint." The next time he went to gather firewood, Ma Liang used a twig to draw birds on the ground. When he came to a stream, he dipped his hand in the water and used his wet finger to draw a fish on the rocks. That night, he used a piece of burned wood to draw animals and flowers. Every day, Ma Liang found time to make more pictures. People began to notice. How lifelike the boy's pictures looked, they said. That bird he has drawn looks as though it's ready to fly. You can almost hear it sing. Ma Liang enjoyed hearing the people's praise, but still he thought, if only I had a paintbrush. One night, after Ma Liang had worked hard all day, he fell into a deep sleep. In a dream, he saw an old man with a long white beard and a kind face. The old man held something in his hand. "Take this," he said to Ma Liang. "It is a magic paintbrush. Use it with care." When Ma Liang awoke, he found his fingers wrapped around a paintbrush. "Am I still dreaming?" he wondered. Quickly, he got up and painted a bird. The picture flapped its wings and flew away. He painted a deer. As soon as he had put the last spot on the animal's coat, it brushed its nose against Ma Liang, then ran into the woods. "It is a magic paintbrush," said Ma Liang. He ran to where his friends lived. He painted toys for the children. He painted cows and tools for the farmers. He painted bowls of delicious food for everyone. But no good thing can remain a secret forever. Soon, news of Ma Liang and the magic paintbrush reached the ears of the greedy emperor. Question time. Is Ma Liang using his magic paintbrush with kindness? How do you know? What do you think, boys and girls? Exactly. The boys and girls know. Do you know, Miss Summer?
Of course I do. I heard them say the answer. The story tells us that he is painting things that people need, like tools for the farmers and food for the hungry. This tells us that he is using his paintbrush with kindness.
Yes. Thanks for helping her out, boys and girls. She can use all the help she can get. Okay, let's keep reading. Bring me that boy and his brush, the emperor commanded. His soldiers found Ma Liang and brought him back to the palace. With a scowl, the emperor looked at Ma Liang. Paint me a dragon, he yelled. Ma Liang began to paint. But instead of painting a lucky dragon, he painted a slimy toad that hopped right on the emperor's head. Disobedient boy, said the emperor. You will regret that. He grabbed the magic paintbrush and ordered his soldiers to throw Ma Liang in jail. Then the emperor called for his royal painter. Take this brush and paint me a mountain of gold, he commanded. But when the royal painter finished the picture, all the gold turned into rocks. So, said the emperor, this brush will only work for the boy. Bring him to me. Ma Liang was brought to the emperor. Question time. Why do you think the royal painter's mountain of gold turned into a pile of rocks? What do you think, boys and girls? Miss Summer, can you tell us what they said?
Yes. So the boys and girls said that the royal painter was not using the paintbrush with care. Instead, he was helping the greedy emperor.
That's exactly right. Boys and girls, if you said that, give me a thumbs up. Oh, great job. Now let's see what happens next. If you will paint for me, said the emperor, I will give you gold and silver, fine clothes, a new house, and all the food and drink you want. Ma Liang pretended to agree. What do you want me to paint? He asked. Paint me a tree that has gold leaves for coins, said the emperor with greed in his eyes. Question time. Why does the emperor want a magic paintbrush? What do you think, boys and girls? Miss Summer, can you tell us what they said?
Yes, let me hear that one more time. Yes. So the boys and girls said that the emperor wants a magic paintbrush because he is greedy and he wants to make himself richer.
That's exactly right. Boys and girls, if you said that, give me another thumbs up. Oh, great job. Now let's see what happens next. Ma Liang took the magic paintbrush and began to paint. He painted many blue waves, and soon the emperor saw an ocean before him. That is not what I told you to paint, he barked. But Ma Liang just kept painting. In the ocean, he painted an island, and on that island, he painted a tree with gold coins for leaves. Yes, yes, that's more like it, said the emperor. Now quickly, paint me a boat so that I can get to the island. Ma Liang painted a big sailboat. The emperor went on board with many of his highest officials. Ma Liang painted a few lines and a gentle breeze began to blow. The sailboat moved slowly toward the island. Faster, faster, shouted the emperor. Ma Liang painted a big curving stroke and a strong wind began to blow. That's enough wind, shouted the emperor. But Ma Liang kept painting. He painted a storm, and the waves got higher and higher, tossing the sailboat like a little cork on the water. Then the waves broke the boat to pieces. The emperor and his officials were washed up on the shore of the island, with no way to get back to the palace. And as for Maliang, people say that for many years he went from village to village using his magic paintbrush, helping everyone wherever he went. All right, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our story today. Now let's see if you can remember some of the details from our Chinese folk tale.
I love question time. I'm sure the boys and girls will know all of the answers too.
Yes. Let's get started. First question. The Magic Paintbrush is a Chinese folk tale. What's a folk tale? Boys and girls, can you describe or tell me what makes this story a folk tale? Miss Summer, can you tell us? You may have to help her out, boys and girls. This one may be hard.
Let me think. Boys and girls, what was that again? Oh, yes, that's right. They said that a folk tale is a story someone made up a long, long time ago. A folk tale is told orally, by word of mouth, over and over again. And what else did you say? Oh, yes, a folk tale usually teaches a lesson, and there can be many versions of the very same folk tale.
Yes, that's right. Thanks for helping her out again, boys and girls. At the beginning of the story, what does Maliang want to do? Do you remember, girls and boys? What about you, Miss Summer? Do you know?
I do. I heard the boys and girls. They said he wants to paint, but he's poor and he doesn't have a paintbrush.
Yes.
And that his teacher calls him a little beggar boy.
Yes, that's right. Great job using the vocabulary word beggar. Boys and girls, I think you all know all of these answers.
I think you're right.
How is Maliang's paintbrush magical? Why does the emperor want the magical paintbrush? What do you think? Miss Summer, can you help us out?
I think so. Let me hear, boys and girls. Yes. So whatever Maliang paints becomes real. Oh yes, and the boys and girls said that the emperor wants it because he is greedy and he wants to make himself a richer man.
Wow, you have all been really listening. Yes, the emperor is not a very nice person. How is Maliang able to outsmart the greedy emperor? Do you remember, boys and girls? Can you share what you noticed, Miss Summer?
Let's see. Maliang painted a strong wind that tossed the boat like a cork on the water. The emperor and his officials washed up on the shore of the island. Oh, and they had no place to get back.
Yes, Maliang really outsmarted the emperor at his own game.
Yes.
Let's do some word work with the word praise. In the read aloud, you heard Maliang enjoyed hearing the people's praise, but still he thought, if only I had a paintbrush. Say the word praise with me.
Praise.
Great job. Praise is congratulations or admiration. Jordan received much praise for the story he wrote in school. Have you ever given or received praise? Have you ever been praised by someone else for doing something good? Make sure to use the word praise when you tell me about it. Miss Summer, what about you?
Well, yes. In fact, this week my children folded and put away the laundry without being asked.
Wow.
I was so proud of what they had done, I made sure to praise them.
That's a great example of praising someone. I was praised once for winning a cooking competition. It made me feel so good. Boys and girls, I know you have lots of examples of how you have praised someone. Now, let's play a making choices activity. We learned that praise means the nice and good things others say. The word criticism is an antonym or opposite of the word praise. Criticism is the negative or not so good things others say about something or someone. I'm going to read several sentences. If what I say is a praise, say, that's a praise. If what I say is a criticism, say, that's a criticism. Miss Summer, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, let's go. Wow, this pie is delicious. You're right,
Yes,
that's a praise. Nice handwriting. Is that a praise or a criticism?
Oh, the boys and girls said that's a praise.
Yes. They are so smart.
They are.
That story didn't have a strong ending.
Oh, you're so fast.
Yes.
Yep, that's
a criticism. You are not being fair. Is this a praise or criticism?
Yep.
You got it.
They knew that one so fast.
That's a criticism. This is the best book ever. Praise or criticism? Wow, super job.
That's a praise, boys and girls. Great job.
Great job on your word work and learning more about the word praise. So, Miss Summer, what are some things that we learned today that we can add to our chart?
Well, we learned that Malian continued to help people. And the emperor continued to be selfish no matter the challenges. We also learned that things that Malian paints come to life to help people in need.
Yes, we learned so much. Those were all great responses. I am sure the boys and girls learned a lot too. Thank you all for sharing. Wow, you have all worked so hard today on our lesson. We've had so much fun learning about Malian and the Magic Paintbrush. I hope you all enjoyed this folk tale as much as we did. Thanks so much for learning with us, boys and girls. I'm so proud of you, and you should be proud too. Keep up the good work.
All rights and credits for today's lesson come from Core Knowledge Language Arts. We would like to thank Core Knowledge for publicly sharing these materials. Boys and girls, thanks for joining us today. I enjoy learning a Chinese folktale with you. Stay tuned and keep learning. Goodbye.